What's doing? Welcome back. The time has finally come. Let's go and see what we're up to. So we have my Dmax, stock as a rock, like I said, other than a tune. But now I have my laptop on board. We're going to go in and we're going to do some trans tuning. That's right. So I've just jumped in the car. We're going to go for a drive. I'm going to try and show you some data. I've got the IDSS program for my Isuzu, so I can show you actual data and show you. I'll try and enlighten you on what we've been doing, been testing for ages, seeing where things lock up. There's heaps of maps in these things. It's not as simple as turn this on, turn that off, and away we go. It's quite involved, so I've been taking my time trying to get dialed in. Is there more in this? Probably, but at the moment I'm really happy with it, and I'll probably develop this over time as well. It won't be just a one and go thing. I'll probably just develop, much like our other tunes. Like if you look back at when I first started doing the Dmaxes, we're probably making 130, 140, and now we're making 150, 160 kilowatts. There's just more in it we can find and more we can do. So the more R&D we do, the more we can push, the more we can make, the more nicer it is, all those sorts of things. So this will continue to grow, much like our other stuff. And this is, I've already driven it. I've put the stock file back in now, and it's chalk and cheese how it drove before. It's absolutely amazing, the change that the tune has made. So anyway, let's stop talking. Let's go for a drive and have a look at what this thing's doing, and we'll come back. We'll load another file back in, my tune file back in it, and then we'll go for another drive and log that and we'll discuss. And then we can get you guys booked in and start doing some trans tunes. Yep, so here we are in my IDSS, and there's a bit of a glare because we're in the shed still. But what we want to get is a couple of bits of information here. So you can see here, where are we? Go down here. So you can see here we're in still warm-up mode as well. So if I can click on this, you can see we're in warm-up mode. So the car does know we're still warming up, so it will hold in warm-up mode, then it will go into our normal economy mode after that. So we'll need to go get the car warmed up so it does its things, and we're obviously still here in warm-up mode as well. So we'll get rid of that once it warms up. But we'll go into here, we'll go actual gear, and then we can show you, we can see where we shift between what gear we're in and what's going on. So we can go between those and see what's going on in there. And we'll go and try and find some other bits and pieces in here, and I'll load up some screens and we'll be able to see what all the things and bits and pieces are doing, so you can see what we are actually chasing and what's actually going on. Alright, so I've just gone for a drive and I've warmed it up. Once I get driving again, I'll put my phone in a little holder and you'll be able to see the screen. Oh geez, they almost ran me over. And I've got IDSS up and running. I've got a normal screen, but it's really hard. You got to sort of flick through, so I put up a big couple of screens so you can see. There's heaps of information in here, but I've tried to, I don't want to say dumb it down, I'm trying to give you the basics. But basically, this torque converter is quite tricky to deal with. They use it for engine braking, so we engage in and out. There's no real on and off on the torque converter. It's between 0 and 3. So 0 is off, 1 is slightly engaged, 2 is engaged, and 3 is fully engaged. So you'll be able to see what it's doing and where it's going. I've got all my stuff here. You can see what position my throttle is. What have I got? Torque command, so it's 1, 2, or 3. Trans temp fluid, engine speed, vehicle speed, what gear it's actually asking for, and also you can see the engine brake as well. So you can see when I'm engine braking, so when I'm letting off the throttle, you'll see the torque converter locks in to help engine brake. So I'll bring up all those on the screen here now, so you can see. But basically, you can see down here now as well, warm-up mode is inactive and we're in economy mode. So the car's all warmed up. I've just got to bring up my other one here. Alright, so we're in drive. This is the best I can do to get it to hold there for you, but we'll put it in drive, we'll drive off and just accelerate as we would normally. You can see all my actions are there, all logged in. So we're in third gear. You can see in the top left corner the torque converter's locking in and out, so it's locked in there, fourth, then it's unlocked again, and then it says 0 there, 1, 3, it locked in fourth. You can feel the car lock in. We're getting up to 100 k's an hour. We're in fifth gear, now we're in sixth gear, and it's finally locked in there. So you can see what's going on. We're at 32% throttle, engine brake's not on, but if I let off the accelerator, torque converter's coming in to lock up. So you can see 2 and locked in. As I accelerate, inactive, go back to 0. Torque converter will eventually lock back in. 1, 2, 3, and it's locked in there. And we're just cruising on doing 100 here in the 100 zone. 6 gear. We're about to go up a slight rise here. I'll accelerate a little bit more to get up it. It's holding there, but it's only a little rise, nothing massive. I'll have to go to a bigger hill so you can see what actually happens with it. But yeah, it's we've got some data here. I'll let off the accelerator there again. You can see that torque converter's locked in 2, and it's absorbing torque and acting as an engine brake. And as we're shifting, as I brake here as well, because we're stopping, you'll see a lockdown again in 5th, and then so on. And I can accelerate again, and it'll come in and flare around and do all its weird things. So that's the thing we're trying to fix, is that top left corner where it flares between 0 and 1, and 3 and 1 and 3 and 0 and 2 and whatever. We'll fix that. But we'll go up a hill up here, and I'll show you another instance where in this newer model, sorry for not talking to you, the phone's in a holder. In the newer model, I think they fixed a lot of it, but I have driven some of the older ones, and it is a lot worse than the newer ones. So I'll go for a drive up this hill. I'll try and replicate it in my car. I may have to get an older car to show you, and show you where it flicks in and out, but it's really, really disgusting to drive in an older model cars where it sort of flares around, it's all over the place. So we'll go for a drive up this hill, and I'll show you some more stuff. Alright, so I've just pulled over. There's a couple of hills here, so I'm hoping I can get traffic lights without having to stop again, and if I do, I'll just stop filming and start again. But let's go up this hill here. I've got no traffic around me now, and we'll accelerate up. So it's very flary. You can see the torque converter sort of coming in and out all over the place here. Wants to kick in there, and it sort of doesn't, and flares out and flares in. And I got caught on traffic lights, but we'll go from this up this next hill, and I'll show you that next part. But yeah, if you've driven these cars before, you know how good about it is. You can see there it's locked in, and it's nice there, but then as soon as you give it a little acceleration, it just locks in. It's a pain in the backside. But we'll go up this hill, and I'll try and replicate it up here. Alright, so I'm going to go up this hill up here. Ooh. Trying to get it accelerated up. You can hear it flare around, trying to get the torque converter to lock up. I'll get steady there, but you sort of just try and get up this hill, and it just wants to unlock and lock up, and it's all over the place. So we'll head back to the shop. It's really hard to try and get this thing to play up while I'm sitting in traffic. But like I said, if you've driven this Ford JJ3 before, you know what they're like. You can see that we're coming down the hill now, and the torque converter's locking up to try and help an engine decel, which is great. So we're going to play with that. That still stays in there, but just that trying to get that thing to stay locked up and locked in, and try and save you some fuel and have a nice driving experience. But I'll try and record all the way back to the shop here, so you can see that how it drives and floats around, and just actually some data, because I know a lot of other shops don't give you any data. They just tell you, yeah, they've done a trans tune, and see you later. Whereas I can try and give you some data here, and you can actually see what's going on and what we're changing. So in second gear, it wants to lock up there. Third gear quickly. We're in the second lock up, then it unlocks, and it locks in, unlocks, flares around in the fourth, wants to lock in, goes lock in, unlock, and you can see that just changing around all over the place. So we'll head back. I'll load in the trans tune that I've got, and then we'll go back out and about and see what we can get this thing to do. All right, we're back. It's much later, but it's yeah, it's about 5:30. I got smashed at work, and didn't get a chance to go out for a drive after loading in the file. So I'm back in the same spot, parked up here. I'm just waiting for IDSS to load up now, and then I can go through and make sure we're up to trans temp, which we are because I've driven from work to here. And I'll go through, replicate the same spot, and hopefully there's not too much traffic, and I'll go back up that hill as well. But even just driving here, you can feel the difference. It doesn't flare between gears. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like nice and easy. You can feel the lock up. There's no flaring between the different stages of lock up. which is the biggest drama with it, is the stages, and that's what you can feeling. You're feeling the talk of it lock and unlock, and then all of a sudden it wants to kick back a gear, so that adds on top as well. So yeah, we fixed that. It just changes the way the car goes. So this is about to load up. I'll get all the display screen up again the same, and we'll go through it. Alright, so it's actually probably less glary now, so it's going to work out better for you guys. I don't know if my stuff's in the same spot, but talking of a lock up here, stages, what gear we're in, what RPM is here, what speed we're doing, throttle percentage. That's our talking about lock up on D-cell and our trans temp fluid. So let's go and have a look and see what she does. I'll just put it in the holder again. I'll just get in the gear, she's in the holder, and give this car a bit of room here, and we'll do the same thing with accelerate, try and do the same sort of scenario. So fourth gear, straight into 3. Fifth gear, straight into 3. I'll try and get up to 100. Sixth gear, straight into 3. So you can see there's no fluffing around, going between 1, 2, 3, zeros, whatever. It's all there, just holds that in 3. And I can let off, and our D-cell still works. And you can see there it's going into 2 in D-cell. You can re-accelerate. Going up a bit of a rise here, 6th gear. Nice and lock up, just going up a bit of a rise here, so it's a bit more throttle input. Give it a bit more, quite a bit of acceleration there, but you can see everything's locking up properly and not flaring around. Go back into cruise here and just cruise along. Doing stuff all. It's just relaxing, nice to drive, not flaring around, holding lock up, and it's nice and good to drive there. I'm just holding that. Like obviously we're sort of not at 100 k's because I'm stuck in traffic, but you get the idea. It's really, really nice to drive. So I'll try and get back up to this hill and try and replicate that, and show you that it goes up a nice incline without shifting back and doing weird things as well. So it's going to go up a bit of a hill here. It's not the same hill, but I'll go up both. It's going up an incline. Fourth gear, full lock. Fifth gear. In the lock. We're still going up an incline here. Going through a set of lights, same thing. I can lean on the accelerator a little bit and it'll obviously unlock, but at least nowhere near as erratic and changing all over the place. I can back off, we'll get in the 6th gear. I've got traffic lights coming up, so I have to decel here, but hopefully I can go up this little bit of a rise and show you. I might even go around the roundabout and come up the other side. It's quite steep the other way, and you can see that we'll have a nice lock up. Alright, so we're coming up to this hill here now, just starting to go up the incline. It's not in lock because I've got a bit of acceleration on it, but if I back off a little bit, we should get in the lock here. But you can see there, it hasn't dropped out of 5th, it hasn't dropped out of 6th, we're going up an incline. Just dropped into 5th now as we're going real slow, than 60. Yeah, it's hard with traffic. Oh my goodness. I'll try and cut this other hill so we can see. But yeah, it's got 5th gear lock there. No flaring around between 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0. It just tries to get that nice lock in and keep it nice to drive. Right, we're just probably this last part. I didn't do this in the last one, but we're coming up to a roundabout, I should say, and it goes into a 100k zone. So depending on traffic again, we can see how we go around the roundabout here. You can see how it performs getting up to 100 k's and sort of coasting along a flat. This is just light acceleration as you normally would in traffic, like I'm not getting up it. This is just getting up to speed. So just coming up to 100 there, and now we're in 6 full lock, just cruising, and I can accelerate keep up the speed, and I'll stay in lock. Just back out a little bit. But yeah, you can see what we're doing there. 1500 RPM, 100 k's an hour. Third stage lockup, 6th gear, coasting along nicely. Obviously, if we put our foot down and want to try and overtake or anything like that, it'll be good. But obviously, if I can back out, we still have the D-cell lockup. Go straight back into accelerate, back up to 100. And we'll have lock up, full locked, cruising. So much nicer to drive, full lock, beautiful. All right, so I've just got home. Yeah, like I said 1,000 times, it's completely changed the car. Now, this is available for all 4JJ3s, so MUX, Dmax, BT50, and might try and keep progressing a bit more with it. We just be really careful with these torque converters. You don't want the thing to blow up, flare up, overheat, create drama. So we try and keep it, safe, and that's why I've been testing and testing and testing. And this isn't just a copy and paste tune. This has been me developing and making sure this is right. Much like the Hilux just here. Develop, and then if there's anything different that comes through, like I've got a couple of 300 horsepower ones we've done, I'm going to go for a drive with them and load this file in that we've got, and probably adjust it some more as well, because there's going to be different torque parameters there, how it engages, what it wants to do. There's so many maps in the background that these things engage with. It's not just foot at this percentage doing this speed unlock. There's multitude of maps that it'll map back between and change and go to decide what it wants to do. And it's not a lock in, lock out. It's a 3-stage lock. So there's multiple variances there to make sure that it's not going to go full lock, full hard and harsh. But you can feel the firm changes. Well, I say firm, but firmer changes 1 through to 6. You can feel it actually select gears, and there's no flaring between different stages of lockup. It's either going to be in 2, it's going to be in 1, it's going to be in 3, depending on the safety of the car and what load we're doing, what torque it's calculating. There's lots and lots of things going on. But as usual, my car is here. As long as the wife hasn't got to arrive and got it out and about. People want to come and drive it, we can go take it for a drive, and by all means, no dramas at all. Give us a heads up you're coming in, and take this thing for a drive. It's tuned with a trans tune. That's it. Stock wheels, stock exhaust, everything's stock. That's probably not going to change. That's probably not going to last long. There are going to be add-ons, snorkels and air boxes and all sorts of stuff. But if you want to come and drive, even then, by all means, come over and drive. And make sure you're happy with it before you come and buy. But this isn't a copy and paste. This isn't just loading something in that someone else has bought and copied and sold out. It's taken me a while to get this right, and hopefully we can keep progressing with it and changing things and adapting and getting a bit more technology in here, and maybe multi-mapping. I don't know yet. See how we go. But yeah, there's lots to learn with these things and make them go and do the right things. So yeah, trans tunes now available. I'm rambling on. Hopefully you guys are keen for it. Hopefully there's enough information there for you. If there's not, by all means, put it down in the comments below what you want to see, what you want to know. My car's got it now, and I can go backwards and forwards between the tunes, so I can compare, and we can try and show you what they're doing. And I'll try in other tunes we're doing with 300 horsepower ones and stuff like that. I'll try and take them for a drive and show you them. So in the meantime, make sure you hit that like, hit subscribe, come and see me, give us a yell, 5491 4626, and I'll see you in the next one.